Hi, my name is Makeup Dr. Cherie, and this is another episode of Devotional Diva. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is September the 27th. It's coming down to the end of the month, and fall just recently began this week too, which is exciting. And so today was a really good day for me. I was having issues at work with other coworker, and to explain it, there were things that person was doing and saying that was kind of triggering emotions in me. And so I understand that when people are rude or condescending, it's usually because they're hurting inside, and that it's not about that particular person, that we're not, like the verse says, Ephesians 6:12, where it talks about we're not battling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spirits. And so that it's that negative spirit, and I didn't want that to be able to affect me. Like, nobody can make you feel any particular way. You can have joy in any situation. It's just a decision and a choice, and have faith that things are going to be okay. And so I told you about how the lady from church said that she was praying for me with Romans 15:13, about being overflowing with the hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. I love that too. And so all throughout the day, when I started to feel uncomfortable or tense, because I don't like conflict, and I didn't want to get into any kind of conflict, or that I was worried that something was that we would get into that situation again, or I'd have to deal with the negativity, it's almost like I had to reprogram myself. I started repeating Psalms 23. I started repeating the verse that my friend from church gave me, and to say that, I'm more than a conqueror, and also say that I'm not going to dwell in the past or judge people or situations based on the past. I'm going to treat them the way I want to be treated, based on what's going on right here and now. I don't want to live in the past. And so then I also remind myself that my God is the God of Abraham and Isaac, and he stopped the sun, he levels mountains, he created the earth, he raised the dead. Like, why am I so worried that he can't handle this little situation I got at work? And so when I was constantly, negativity kept trying to pop its head up, because it's like a constant thing, and I would be feeling good, and then a little thought would come in there. Well, yesterday she said blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, nope. I had to tell it, no, there's no room for you here. There's no room for negativity here. I will not live in the past. And that has nothing to do with going on. Excuse me. That has nothing to do with what's going on right here. Sorry. So I realized that my anxiety and worry all stems from fear. And so I had to say, why am I not trusting God to take care of the situation? And so I just kind of let it go finally. And it was a really interesting process that it took me about 15 or 20 minutes of just really repeating over and over, and sometimes out loud in a very low voice to myself while I was working, singing praise songs softly, repeating verses softly, and then it kicked in, and I felt good, and I felt joy, and had no problems. I'm sorry, I have to stop for a minute. Hey, I'm having a hard time getting this message out. So anyway, I wanted to read Psalms 118:6, which said, "The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do to me?" And I love that, because it's like, if God is for you, then who can be against you? And also 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind." And that's beautiful too. And so I just want to share my experience with you, and just to say that, because I have to remind myself that there's always going to be somebody around that's going to be negative or do things that'll try to get at me. And so I want to have on the full armor of God, so that they just bounce off. My sister talked to me about the other day how she will physically go through the motions of putting on the armor of God, taking the having on the footwear of peace, and the helmet of salvation and everything. I thought that was a wonderful idea too. So anyways, thank you for joining me today. Let me know if there's anything that you do to try to put on the armor of God or to get over negative thinking. How do you relax and give it up to God? And what is your process? Are there any favorite Bible verses that you have? But thank you for joining me so much today. Thank you so much today for joining me. If you're new and just stopping by, I appreciate it. If you're returning, we love you too. And whether we're returning or new, love you. God bless you. And that's it for me. Another episode of Makeup Doctor of Devotional Diva. You see, you can even see the bags under my eye. I'm so tired. So much stuff to do tonight. I have a class tomorrow. But I will see you tomorrow and tell you how I'm doing. All right.